guilty indulgence or whatever you call it, guilty pleasure. It could be way worse, but it's one thing to drink aside from water. So that's it's called sparkling water. It tastes a little sweeter than your usual sparkling water. They use a artificial sweetener, which I don't always recommend, but they're okay-ish in the realm of how bad is food. So CVS to the right. A few minutes left on this card here. Dog park over there. I always thought like just having film footage of the dog park like on a quiet evening is really ASMR like. Good. Inside, I have a couple dog walks later, but my goal is to be able to work more from indoors than outdoors, just to avoid all the provocations out here on the street. It's hard to explain. There's a lot of energy out here, a lot of different people, and Philly has a way of sort of, you know, in a way, some people see it as, you know, it's possible that anger could be put on someone. Like, say you could throw a cloak, almost like Hogwarts or Harry Potter. Say you can throw something on someone and they're like, all of a sudden they're fuming and they're angry, but they can't totally, they're not sure exactly why. Or they're itchy or fidgety or jittery. They're trying to figure out, like, did I eat something, or I don't even need to be angry. There's nothing, or somebody has really bad energy in the area and it causes your aura or system to sort of short circuit. And in a way, I don't know what preventative measures. You have to have money sometimes to be able to say take yoga on a regular basis, at least these days. In the past, they offered a lot of free yoga, or donation based, or, you know, people do therapeutic things. They get their nails done, they get their hair done. All of these things, of course, take money. And if, you know, if you can barely make it through the day at a normal job because the cloak of anger or frustration or irritabilityness or itchiness and so on is put on you, then what do you do in that case? And it's another way to see the world, or to understand why some people can't function in society. Like, who does function in society? I have wondered. And I do know a lot of hurtful people have money and jobs, so it's possible that they hurt people on the job in ways that are indirect and unseen. And other people are just like, I gotta get out of here. I can't even stay here. So it could be energy and or actions that are subversive or subliminal or indirect enough that you can't really prove it. You could try to go to HR. I've had situations where I went to HR, but people don't really understand, or they're bullies themselves in human resources. And they don't understand why you can't put up with so-and-so who's constantly flirting with the boss and wearing, you know, thongs and bending over. And it's like, clearly that's unprofessional behavior, and yet no one's saying anything. And then you try to say something, but still nothing is done. Wow, I used to walk a dog down here. Speaking of, I always wonder, like, who are the co-workers of certain people. So I used to walk a dog down here, and this used to be sort of a courtyard, if you will. It was a fenced-in courtyard, and now they've built this thing. So this brand new townhousey where I walked a dog was in an older home down there. These are really older and historic. So this would be a brand new addition. I do know that a lot of people who've been clients of mine or who I've walked dogs for, I do know that very often when they move, a new development comes in. Even in that tiny little space there, which in the past would have like a couple people maybe sitting out in the whatever you call it, courtyard area, sort of fenced in. Who'd have thunk that they could put all that there? Wow, that's amazing. I don't know if I didn't look at, I guess if I looked at it more closely, they might have gotten rid of the apartment building that had the courtyard. It was very inconspicuous as an apartment building. It was like carriage house in nature, and it took me a while to realize that it was more of an apartment building than a home. Just because the entrance was over on Waverly instead of Addison. So, you know, how much are people used for development, housing, residential? Could you be a dog walker and you're totally used? Or do people come into communities and live in places on purpose to see how much development can occur, or to push people out, buy them out if they have the money? And they're not always nice people, so of course money talks. In fact, I meant to buy a Powerball ticket today. I never ever play the lottery, just because in a way it seems like a waste of money, but it was up really high, and I was like, I should just buy one just for the just to see what happens, you know. But anyway, someone said a long time ago, like, whatever happened to you is in the realm of the odds of a lottery ticket. It was so bad that it's like 1 in 435 million that this would happen to someone. It's really hard to explain stuff. You can't just go to police because they really have no idea what to do. They need tangible evidence. They don't really, or dead people to, you know, they need actual like violence or certain things to occur, thievery, what have you. It's hard to prove a lot of invisible trickster games, and people are capable of things that can seem supernatural, but really it's just it would be like someone's really spoiled, they grew up with a lot of money, maybe they have connections to the CIA or the police or what have you. Police is kind of on the low side, but and they would be given things anyway. It's not like they earned it. Some people even say that you know, there are wealthy people who have kept their DNA, their family lineages, if you will, intact, and they never what's the right word, because it can seem